And we're back. And we're back with another episode of the Pals Podcast. I am your co-host, Dani Galarneau.
And I'm your other co-host, Ricky Liorti. And Dani, tell the people who we had, because I know this has got to be your favorite episode.
We had Kyle Cooke on the podcast, OG summer host, cast member, and founder of Loverboy, and now DJ.
And honestly, I feel like he's everyone's favorite reality star. Like we talked to, we had the moms on, Ariana and Renee.
Anyone we've met that have met Bravo celebrities, have said that Kyle's the nicest to meet in person, most genuine connection.
Yeah.
To me. And he came on the podcast. He was great. He was very open. And
he was exactly what I was hoping he was going to be like.
Yeah. And he's just done so much. And I think that people forget, like, you get so caught up in, like, you're on Summer House. This is what you're kind of doing. That you forget all the other extra things that is going on. And he is very open about talking about his brands and starting it up and his past and entrepreneurship. And I think that's been a big part of his storyline on the show too. And like all of it. So
I feel like it was nice because obviously we don't just want to talk reality TV show. Like I'm not a reality TV show kind of guy. So we actually got deep into his life, his history, the story of how he's done all the things he's done. And there were so many things that, like, obviously we Google our guests and we look things up so that we know a little bit about them. But there were so many things I found out about him that I don't think most people know. And
I think people forget about.
Yeah, I feel like it helps shapes who he is.
Yeah, for sure. And it was a lot of fun. It was great to have him on the podcast. We can't wait for Summer House season 10 coming up.
Yeah, and I'm just excited to see what he does in this next chapter of his life because he's honestly a genuine, like, good person that someone you want to have him around. Like, if I get married, I want him like in my wedding party, even though we were like not even homies. But
that's actually really funny.
I genuinely love you, Kyle. But
on the show, his best friend was like there was like kind of like a weird falling out with the wife and whatever. Wedding didn't end up happening, but the guy was his groomsman, best man, or like officiated the wedding or something like that. And then he got asked to be the flower boy.
Yeah, he's just someone you
want. No, but like it was like a big storyline to show how he wasn't a groomsman. But like,
he's just the guy you want to have around. Like, he's just genuine, nice guy, down to earth, doesn't think he's better than you, doesn't think he's cooler than you. Just a cool fucking dude. So Kyle, thank you for being a pal. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for telling your story and giving us a look inside your beautiful mind. So really appreciate you, and
let's fucking go.
Do you ever watch yourself and cringe though?
Yeah.
From like the old stuff?
Oh my God. The very first scene.
What is it?
Yeah. It was me blackout in a hot tub. That was literally my TV debut.
Oh, because you guys had the crossover with Vanderpump.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the backstory on that. So one of us on the season 1 cast knew someone on Vanderpump. Stassi came to the East Coast for her birthday. I didn't know a damn thing about Bravo, let alone Vanderpump, but I just knew that there was supposedly like at least one of them was going to be single. And we're just waiting for these chicks to arrive. I didn't want to look them up. I didn't want to have any prejudice or bias. Like, I just wanted to, like...
So you went in cold turkey.
Yeah. Just raw dog. Just kidding. And we were waiting. We were on the beach. We were supposed to have like a clam bake, and I'm not joking. They were like 3 hours late, and we had rosé and rosé, and I was on an empty stomach. So like by the time we actually said hi to these girls, had a drink, sat down to eat, that's basically where my memory starts to get fuzzy, and that was the very beginning of Summer House.
What's your mom say to something like that? Kyle, come on.
I think everybody was like, Kyle, like, are you sure this is the right move? You just got your MBA. I'm like, guys, trust the process. And that first episode drops, and they're like, this was a mistake. Yeah.
But that's what I was going to cut you off to ask. I'm like, did you think you were going to go down this like lifestyle path? Like, what's your background? Like, you just said you have an MBA, so you're obviously a smart dude.
No, I mean, this was a total accident, like most of my life. I moved to New York City in 2007 for a commercial real estate finance startup.
Okay.
Where
are you from originally? Sorry.
I'm from Manchester, New Hampshire, but I actually was born in Montreal.
Oh, really?
My dad was up there.
There you go. Fun fact.
Yeah, before my dad kind of went into the nonprofit world, he was up working for Clairol in Montreal. Wow. So my parents met in Stowe, Vermont, which is like 2.5 hours away from Montreal. And both my parents kind of grew up skiing there. And so, I come down from, actually I was living in Boston before I moved to New York, and I had these like big ambitions and aspirations. And I joined a college friend that was doing a commercial real estate finance startup. And then literally within a month, the first red flags went up with, the collateralized mortgages in the commercial real estate market. And then lo and behold, we're in the Great Recession and I'm in the most expensive city in the world as the market tanks and I don't have a salary.
And what are you, like 20 something?
Yeah, I think I'm like 24.
So you're like, fuck.
Yeah. And I built like a nice little savings having run a company in college. So I was living off of my portfolio that I was selling into a down market to cover my cost of living. So I think it's just like you look way back when, like when I moved to New York and I was taking risks. I was always just kind of living, on the edge and flying by the seat of my pants.
Okay, so you get your MBA, you're in Boston, market tanks. You decide I'm going to go to New York at this point?
Yeah, actually, I moved to New York, and when the Great Recession had like fully kind of settled in, my business partner moved to his family home in Connecticut. My other business partner moved in with his wife in Arizona, and I'm the only one there with a lease. And I'm like, well, this isn't good.
This is kind of awkward.
So I start to scramble. I was always kind of like talking the talk. I didn't know a damn thing about commercial real estate. I can just sell anything to anybody.
You're a personable guy.
I was like, you know what? I went to a liberal arts school. I went to Trinity undergrad. I was like, if I'm a little clueless as to what's next, because I don't want to leave New York, but I don't want. They were moving the business to Scottsdale, Arizona, and this was long before Scottsdale was cool. This was 2008. It's like you go there if you have allergies or you're retiring. That was the Scottsdale population back then. So I decided to go to business school. So I actually went back up to Massachusetts, enrolled in Babson, #1 school for entrepreneurship. And yeah, I spent 2 years kind of resetting and then also just kind of like doing a deep dive on all things business. Because everything that I learned up to that point was just by doing, like running a company, at home. So yeah, then I moved to New York, started an app. I maxed out my student loans and started an app for people trying to find a last minute reservation at like a discount at, obviously New York City has a lot of options. And that was essentially a failure because like the .com, the daily deal bubble was in full swing, like the Groupon, Living Social. I had a very unique alternative, but and next thing you know, I'm like, all right, the startup failed. I did sales for an enterprise company. I did enterprise sales for another startup. And then this opportunity to do Summer House came along. So I just gave you like 20 years, but sorry.
No. Well, Dan, you have some, I got a whole bunch now.
Okay, I just have a question. Were you going to the Hamptons on a weekly basis before Summer House?
Yes. So my first foray into the Hamptons was a good friend of mine, fellow Trinity alum. He was in my fraternity, Sayu.
Wait, what frat were you in?
It's called Sayu Epsilon, Sayu. And we were the two beer lords. Probably the most responsible job you can have in college.
Just make sure there's beer around.
Yeah, 3 days a week we picked up kegs.
Tough job.
Actually, it is. We went through a lot of kegs. I probably tapped 1,000 kegs in my day. So if you are tapping a keg around me and you don't know what you're doing, I will step in and make you look a fool. But he had a family house out in Montauk since the 80s. And, in the 2000s, Montauk was like a sleepy fishing, surfing town. So my first time out there was like 2004, 2005. And it's totally different from what it is now. I mean, you guys were just there. Very chill, very relaxed, understated. I was always kind of like the starving entrepreneur of my friend group. So when I moved back to New York after business school, again, I was just like scrambling to cover my cost of living. So the first summer I actually was out there for the entirety was 2014. But I'd been in and out of the Hamptons for like, I don't know, 10 plus years.
Do you think, because you said you were kind of like the starving artist of the group, do you think that helped you be successful down the road?
Yeah, I mean, like,
because everyone says like you are a product of your environment, right? Like you are
Totally.
the company you keep.
Yeah, I mean, just to give it a little perspective, entrepreneurship and like doing tech startups or doing your own thing, and like, long before people could have like creator jobs and there was like Instagram, I felt like a lone soldier. I mean, my 5 roommates in 2007 were all in finance, and then there was me. And they're like, "What are you doing?"
Trying to figure it out, right?
And I'm like, "I don't know, but I'm not gonna go work for the man." Yeah. So I think that like just having that hustle, that drive. Like by the time we filmed Summer House, which is 2016, I had like a couple different revenue streams. But I by no means had it all figured out.
How many, it might be personal, you don't have to answer, but how many businesses have you started? How many have become successful and how many failed financially? Because
So-
every business you learn something, it's not a failure, yada, yada.
I mean, my God, I think life is just one long learning lesson, and so is entrepreneurship. If you're not learning, good luck.
Agreed.
My first app, I would have needed to raise hundreds of millions of dollars to make this work. I didn't understand the complexities of a marketplace. So I was building an app for restaurants. So that's one customer, and consumers. You have to market to both.
Yep.
And that's the hardest startup to actually pull off. And if you think about like the Groupons and Living Socials or the Ubers or, fill in the blank, Airbnb, those are all marketplaces. They're all, incredibly, incredibly well funded, the ones that actually make it. And I was just too late. Venture capitalists already made bets on really simple models like coupons. My whole thing was like a yield management tool. So it wasn't about a coupon. It was about a discrete discount. But VCs were just like, dude, we made our bets and we've already lost our money.
Yeah.
So that's the first one. The second one was...
no, you said you had one during college.
Well, that was successful. I had a contracting company. So I would, primarily painting, commercial and residential. So I just stumbled into this franchise opportunity. So I was a franchisee running, it was called University Painters.
Yeah, we have him here.
Yeah, they had evolved the business, so it wasn't like me hiring my friends to paint. It was finding contractors that didn't want to go find their own work, but knew how to paint.
Yeah.
But those guys that can't find their own work, they're not always the most reliable. So it was a challenge.
It's a tough job. You're door-to-door sales too, probably.
That's a lot for like a university
cold calling.
student to do.
Yeah, I was 20 and I had 50 people working for me.
Not bad.
So that was like my first real foray into like running an actual business. I'd done like Cutco sales. I'd run a fake ID business, but this was like the first.
I did nightclub
legitimate.
promo, man.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. So
okay, so you're 1-1 right now.
So
you
that was all right. So
that was
1-1.
successful. You're 1-1.
I would say the commercial. My buddy went on. He moved the business to Arizona. They went on to be wildly successful, but they've been doing the same damn thing since 2006. That's a tough pill for me to swallow. Although like they've had huge success. Hats off to them. When I left, the business was not successful. So I would actually say I'm 1 for 2 at that point. I had a sales job directly out of school, but if we're just purely talking startups, after the hospitality app, I did an app for salons. Actually, before the salons, I was doing an app for stylists to do
how many apps?
How many apps? A lot of apps.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
a lot of apps.
Are you even a developer, or you just outsource all this?
No, I'd come up with the ideas. I'd work with like the UI UX guy, the developers, the back end, the front end. I mean, that was like the name of the game back in 2011 to like 13. I mean, like tech.
I started an app.
You should have gone to him.
Yeah, my best friends and I started an app in 2020.
2020.
Yeah, 2020. It was a social voting app called Cast, and same thing. We would have needed hundreds of millions to compete with TikTok, Instagram.
Oh, you don't back. It's when you do your first app, you don't know what you don't know. So in 2011, I did the hospitality app. I then did like Uber for beauty. So this stylist app would allow people to book like a stylist to their own home for like a blowout or a haircut or something. And that was just challenging just because it's Uber kind of struck gold on like how simple that model is. Most adults know how to drive a car, right? Beauty is subjective. So when people get a blowout, they might, the same blowout one person might love, the same blowout one person might hate.
Yeah.
So then we were like, all right, forget this freelance model. We then built like, I would say instead of Uber for beauty, we built like I'm trying to think if you guys have delivery apps for restaurants up here. Is it like DoorDash or
DoorDash.
in New York it was called Seamless, now it's Grubhub.
Yeah, we have Instacart.
Okay, so yeah, we basically did like the Grubhub or Instacart for salons. So instead of freelancers, we would then let the staff that was sitting idle go to people's homes for a premium. But there was just too many hands in the cookie jar. And then, I mean, like, my God, I tried to, like, digitalize showing proof of insurance for job sites. That was a short, quick.
These are all very different industries.
Very different.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Then
I'm just picturing you I mean this respectfully too, in your tiny little New York condo, just fucking, this one didn't work. Okay, we're going to this one. We're going to this one.
that takes a
You're
lot.
just grinding.
my parents were like, "Don't you want a job? Don't you want a salary?" And I'm like,
Don't you want insurance, health benefits?
Yeah. I mean, it was a rough go. The one that I thought was going to be my big success story was a nutrition app because, people were really starting to understand.
I think we lost count on the ticker here, by the way, between the successful and the
Mostly
respectfully-
flops. I was doing a nutrition app.
Hey, but all you need is one. All you need is one successful one, right?
All you need is one.
All you need is one.
When the casting began for Summer House, I was working on a nutrition coaching app. So, I looked around at New York. This is like when the classes were just like, everyone had their Equinox membership, but they're also going to Soul Cycle. Then berries pop, and then I'm like, my God, people are spending like $1,000 a month on fitness and then they eat like shit. Can I swear on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're good.
So I just saw this huge imbalance of people that care about their health, how they were spending, and everybody that, like, once you kind of educate yourself on nutrition, you hear things like abs are made in the kitchen, and that, like, the whole food pyramid's ass backwards, and that there are good fats, and you need to, like, avoid sugar and you're like, whoa. And if eating good and eating healthy was easy, then everybody would be in shape. But it's not. So accountability is a huge, component to eating well and eating nutritious. So I was connecting people with a one-on-one nutritionist. And that, I was like, wait, if I do a show on Bravo, like, that audience wants to look good, feel good. It'll be the best launch pad ever. But how do you bring an app to life? So the first 2 seasons, I'm working on an app that's focused on nutrition. But this is a show that takes place in the Hamptons.
Where you're getting blackout drunk.
And I'm blackout drunk, and I'm late night snacking. And it was
and
like,
you're notorious for late night snacking on the show.
Tough
and I'm
one,
like,
buddy, there.
And every time I talked about my startup, people like, so you have a fitness app? And I'm like, no, nutrition. So that was a grind. That was like way harder than I thought. And all the while, everyone was asking what we were drinking. And I was always the guy, basically turning the house on to new drinks, whether it was way back in the day, like Twisted Tea, because you couldn't even find it in New York, or like rosé. I mean, we had a connection to Whispering Angel, so we just had unlimited rosé. I had my margarita machine, the Jumpstart. So yeah, one thing led to another. But I mean, basically a bunch of flops.
Like, Loverboy would be the most natural progression from the show.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, when I agreed to do the show, it would never cross my mind that I'd end up doing an alcohol.
Really?
And the irony is, the only person on Bravo I could probably name was Bethany Frankel, who did Skinny Girl. Like, I had no idea what I was walking into, and it took 2 years of me trying to bring something to life so it benefits from me talking about it and integrating it and whatever we could film. And yeah, like, the opportunity was kind of just staring me in the face, and it just took a little while.
What do you think was the biggest lesson you learned in the failures that help you succeed with Loverboy? Because Loverboy is now, wildly successful. You're all over the place with it. You're launching new lines and different flavors all the time. So what do you think is the biggest single lesson you learned?
I think that, you know, that run up that we just kind of covered, all those various startups, I was very much trying to like capitalize on a current trend. You know, there was so many Uber for X apps and businesses started once they saw the success of Uber. There was like an app that helps you find, a house cleaner. There was an app that helps you find a masseuse. I mean, like, you name it,
Mechanic,
people tried it. And I think that I was a little too fixated on chasing trends, because if you're chasing a trend, guess what? You're already too late.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to like just take a look in the mirror, like, okay, what do I know? What am I good at? And how can I apply, some learning lessons? And if you think about it, like alcohol, A, it's technically a poison. B, most products in 2016, I would say 99% did not have nutrition facts or ingredients on the label. And I found out some crazy stat that the average caloric intake from, that alcohol plays in like the average adult's life is about 20%. Now, if you're social, maybe that's 40, 50.
Mine's got to be higher.
So think about that. And I was just like, all right, I'm working on this nutrition app, but like there's a way more obvious opportunity. Make a better for you alcohol brand that is transparent. And that just did not exist. And the funny thing is, hard seltzer stumbled into that. Hard seltzer was formulated in a way that was actually regulated by the FDA. So they were forced to put the nutrition label on the original spiked seltzer cans. And they were not 100 calories. They're actually 140. And they were not like 1 or 2 grams of sugar. They were like 6. So, look, everything happens for a reason. But I was just laser focused on like, wait a minute. I actually feel guilty when people would ask what we're drinking. I'd feel guilty because I'm like, look, I run a nutrition app. You don't want to know how much sugar is in like the number one hard tea.
Don't drink this, but hey, I'm gonna have one.
No, but like, what are the alternatives? Like, you can't even make a frozen margarita without colossal amounts of sugar. It's the sugar that helps it stay like liquid.
I was just in Mexico and we had a chef come in one night, make us margaritas. It was the best margaritas I think we've ever had. And he was blending something. What the fuck are you blending? By the end of the pitcher was there. The amount of sugar at the bottom of it, I'm like, this is why it tastes so good.
But like, you've seen those machines, right? The reason it doesn't freeze is like one of two things, and one of it is sugar.
Well,
I was like, wait,
the syrup
sugar?
is all sugar,
Like,
right? Flavored sugar.
It's insane how bad most alcohol. And the funny thing is, in this like post-pandemic canned cocktail world that we're living in, where there's just so many of them out there, it's like people drank so much boring hard seltzer. Now they've like fully reverted back to full sugar cocktails, which kind of blows my mind. If you told me in 2016 that people would be slamming drinks that have just as much sugar as a soda, but who drinks one drink? So you're like sitting there having like 3 Mountain Dews. It's disgusting. I would have or the alternative, which a lot of brands use, is just tons of artificial sweeteners. If you told me in 2016 that people wouldn't care about the negatives of artificial sweeteners and they're just going to drink it anyway, I would have been like, you're crazy.
What's your drink of choice at the bar? No Loverboy exists.
I would say I've just been kind of on a mezcal kick for 12 years.
Wow.
So I would drink like a mezcal sour or a mezcal margarita with like a tahini rim and very little, if not no, simple syrup. Yeah. Or a mezcal on the rocks with like a couple orange slices.
Interesting. I was not expecting that.
What are you, Dan? Are you a tequila
I love
soda?
cocktails.
You're a tequila soda.
Tequila soda, splash of grapefruit.
You're a splash of grapefruit.
It's just because the tequila soda now just that. Yours is wild.
I'm a double vodka 7. Like, even I've done fitness contests.
Yes.
Or a Sprite.
Like, who
whatever.
drinks that?
I've done fitness contests and I always drink the same thing. That's why I started
Well, if
drinking
you have
doubles.
a double, there's less room for the actual sugar in the soda.
Sprite, yeah. That's how I started drinking doubles. When I was training for fitness contests, I'm like, I'm having too much sugar. I can't have this. I need to drink doubles.
Not just not drink at all.
Yeah,
that wasn't an option.
It's not an option.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a good option for me on camera because I would just get nuked.
I want to ask one more on Loverboy. Was there ever a moment, obviously now it's easy to look back now that it's successful. Is there ever a moment where you doubted yourself?
Oh, absolutely. Like when we filmed the first season that I talked about, which was season 3, 2018, I managed to get a name, a brand, samples in can over the course of 10 weeks, which was like the most insane dash. We were drinking on the show, talking about it. You know, I kind of like achieved what I'd always wanted to do with my nutrition app. I achieved in like 10 weeks. And then once that season wrapped, I kind of like, we concluded it with me presenting it in front of all my friends, you know, because I was getting ready to start fundraising. I actually wasn't ready. I kind of went back to the drawing board. I'm like, I have no idea actually how to start this. Like I got it like to this point, but how do I figure out the regulatory like frameworks? How do I understand like manufacturing? You know, and at that time I was obsessed with quality, and the only thing that would actually be good enough and smooth enough and zero sugar to use as an alcohol base was made in the Netherlands. So I spent 6 months trying to figure out how to get like an import license and get something filed with the government agency that monitors like alcohol. It's called the
Without
TTB.
spending an insane amount of money.
Yeah. So I was totally self-funded, and that was like, I'm like, am I going to get this launched by the next summer?
Season, yeah.
And lo and behold, I thought I'd have it launched by the time the show season 3 was airing in like spring of 2019. I didn't get it launched, which was a soft launch in New York City, until that like a full year later in July of 19. So there was a lot of doubt, just because I'm like, I bit off a lot more than I could chew at that moment. But look, here's the thing. Like, I look back today, the last 3 years have been insanely challenging. I know like on paper, Loverboy looks successful, but we are always at the whim of our distributor. And at our peak, we had 165 distributors. So legally speaking, if like a Whole Foods or a Walmart or a Total Wine, which is the biggest liquor store in the U.S., you know, if any type of retail chain wants to bring in Loverboy, unlike every other thing in the grocery store, when you're small, you can just sell it to them directly. Alcohol, you legally have to go through a distributor. And you hear me kind of like bitch and whine about my distributors throughout the years, if you like listen closely. But like the way the alcohol system works is they are required by law.
So there's nothing you can do about it.
There's nothing I can do about it. And look, we are a small drop in their bucket. So to get their attention to launch, but then more importantly, maintain share of mind, so we are a brand they think about year after year after year. I totally underestimated, you know, what that would require, because the first couple of years, everybody wanted Loverboy. It's a different era now. It's kind of crazy how much changes in an industry over the course of just a couple of years. So, I mean, even just like learning lessons and doubts. I mean, right now, I mean, I look back, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe, you know, when I made that decision in 21 or 22, you know, I was going off of like such a limited like data set, or just a limited, you know, runway of experience in an industry that's so complex.
Well, you're probably thinking, I went from 0 to product in hand, drinking it on TV in 10 weeks to I'm not getting it in stores till a year later.
Yeah.
Like, that's
like, and by the way, I only
pretzel
had
that you're in is fucking insane.
I only had distribution and enough product to launch basically like New York City.
Yeah.
That was it. So I still remember, I think it was like July 25th, we like flipped the switch for that, you know, essentially the Brooklyn and Manhattan market. And we sold like 25 grand in like a minute, because we could direct people to our local distributor. But that was it. Everybody that was like following along, they're like, oh, Kyle just launched, but in New York.
Obviously, like having it on TV is like the best kind of advertisement, because you guys are drinking it all the time. But like, have you had any issues with Bravo and like having that?
Look, I think Bravo loves to follow. You know, some of us don't have jobs, you know, that we can talk about on camera. Like early days, there's still a couple people in finance, still a couple of people that like were hoping they wouldn't get fired. You know, it's a different era now. Like you can come on a show and, you know, hope to leverage the platform, you know, from an influencer and creator perspective. But guess what? That was not the freaking case in 2016. Like,
fuck, 10 years ago, actually, 2016.
Yeah, if you think about it. Yeah, everyone's doing this like 2016 thing. Like my camera roll was all Summer House season 1. And the risk that we all took then it's kind of like underappreciated in today's reality world, because it wasn't like this, oh yeah, go do a show like Love Island or The Bachelor.
Well, you know what you're getting out of it, right?
Yeah, you're like, oh, I'm going to get followers and I'm never going to have to take the job that I once had.
Yeah.
I would say for the first 3 years that we filmed, there was absolutely zero steady income from like a brand partnership perspective.
And there's 0% chance, and again, I mean this nicely, there's 0% chance after getting blackout first day on TV that you're going back to a normal job. How do you go to the job interview when, again, Kyle Cooke is a very unique name too. They can easily Google that and find out, here's an episode where he gets blackout drunk in a hot tub. Like,
Yeah,
it'd be tough to go back.
But I was the entrepreneur of the group, which was unusual back then.
Well, it's also,
right? There was no influencers, no creators, there's no like gig economy.
Didn't know if the show was going to be successful.
Exactly, no one knew. So I was one of the few where I'm like, listen,
You capitalized.
like if this goes south, I'm just gonna have to continue to like rub sticks together as an entrepreneur. My friends, like Carl, the second, I think it was either the trailer or episode 1, like boom, fired. He was in a sales job, immediately fired.
Done.
Yeah.
That's going to fucking suck too. Because again, at that time, the show's not successful yet.
You get like 50, 60,000 followers a season, but that was not enough to pay the bills. And like I said, brand partnerships didn't exist back then. Like once in a blue moon, we would get inbounded by some brand that wanted to pay us like $5,000 to do some post. I think I did like a total of 3 of those in the first 3 years.
Whereas like now it's a completely different world, right?
You hop onto a successful show, and as long as you're not like an idiot, or as long as you're not like cut from it, because it's not a given that if you get casted, you're gonna be a main focal point. I mean, it's a totally different ball game.
So now, obviously, your DJ career is kind of another. It's another platform where you can tie Loverboy in, right? Like it's a clear connection now. So you have like the TV, the product.
And it pains me that we're in Canada and we still don't have Loverboy.
Yeah.
I was this close last year.
Well, so in full transparency, when we went to the Hamptons, like when we stopped at, what was that convenience store? We bought a whole bunch of flavors because the girls, we had to try it because I've never tried it prior to our Hamptons trip, right? So we bought it. We had, 3-4 different flavors at the house? I can't even remember.
Yeah.
We had a whole bunch, yeah. So how does...
Thank you, by the way. Thank you for the support.
Our fans. How does the DJ career help Loverboy in like that stream as well? Because, you see all these like Alex Earl hosting, sponsored by whatever her drink is. Like, how does that work together?
So, a couple things. The alcohol industry is really tricky. There's just huge brands. Like a lot of people don't understand just how big these brands are. Like White Claw, massive Canadian brand. That guy owns.
White Claw's Canadian?
Yeah, from Vancouver.
Yeah, that was Mike's Hard Lemonade, and before he started Mike's Hard Lemonade, he owns like massively successful vineyards up here.
Wine.
A lot of people don't understand that like High Noon is owned by Gallo. Gallo is the biggest privately held alcohol company in the world. It's not just like a barstool project.
I was gonna say it has nothing to do with Dave Portnoy.
No, he's part.
He was essentially brought on to market it.
Yeah, he's the marketing trainer.
But they did it pretty. I mean, they were pretty clever with their marketing. A lot of people thought it was his brand.
I thought it was until right now.
100% not.
Well, but there's
learning
a
a
lot
lot.
of them because, like, again, the distribution is it's the key factor.
Yeah. Well, Gallo has distribution set up like pre-prohibition, so they're good. They don't deal with what I deal with. But yeah, so what I was kind of getting at is a lot of brands find convenient ways to make sure they have a presence in what we call the on-premise. The on-premise is restaurants and bars. And a lot of times a brand will like pay the marketing fees or hire the DJ or like cover the costs of like the staff's like outfits and uniforms, right? So in the US, you can't pay for the exclusive, but you can kind of wink, and hey, we'll cover these quote unquote marketing costs. So that's why you go to a bar, you see like ridiculous amounts of branding because the alcohol companies have essentially paid for that, and that's how they kind of earn their spot. There's also like the major
brands like Diageo, and like they can come in and they've got every single line of liquor on there, right?
Exactly. So it's not a very startup friendly industry, and so for me, with a show and with a platform, what I was doing before I started DJing, I would go around the country and do these meet and greets. And if I'm doing it, and that's, the on-premise, restaurants and bars and clubs, the off-premise is retail. So I would do meet and greets in liquor stores, grocery stores, you name it. But I also would do meet and greets at, venues. And the whole goal there was like, listen, I'll pack the place. So instead of me paying you 10, 20, 50, $100,000, depending on the venue, you know, I will kind of use my social capital as like a trade out. And that's how Loverboy got into a lot of the bigger accounts early on. And to this day, I've done hundreds of meet and greets, and that gets old. I've always been the music guy. I grew up playing instruments in high school, college, grad school, and the Hamptons. I've always been the guy, not just playing the music, lugging the stereo out. I have like
Stereo.
the stereo that I lug out to the Hamptons it's probably like a good $10,000, $12,000 worth of audio equipment. So
You'd think you'd get someone to do that for you now, eh?
you know, it's I'm not above that. But yeah, I basically, you know, I went from spending my time and money to travel there, stay in a hotel, and then kind of throw this party for free to get my drink in there. Now I'm, you know, in venues that I have distribution, and that's the big if. Yeah. If I have distribution, now they pay me to do this. So it's kind of, I think a lot of people don't understand why I started DJing. It was not like this midlife crisis, and it wasn't to like, you know, out of spite because Amanda did her swimsuit line. I mean, I've seen so many goddamn accusations and rumors. I was just like, guys, I've been traveling for Loverboy since the pandemic. I've done hundreds of meet and greets. Now I get paid to basically throw it an even better experience for fans and consumers. And that's kind of how it started. My buddy that owns and manages a club in New York was like, Kyle,
why are you not doing this?
Why are you not doing this? Like, come in when we're closed, learn how to use the decks, the CDJs, and you will be our headliner for Halloween. So the first time I ever DJ'd for anybody was a sold-out show in New York City at a club. And I'm like, okay.
I just feel like, though, it was a natural progression, given the fact that throughout the years on the show, you were always the guy with the music. Like,
somehow they made a point
of that.
I don't know.
People are annoying. But my biggest thing
I've been lugging out, like, there's footage of me lugging in the very first loudspeaker on season 1.
Well, I just feel like there's also been, like, clips of you bringing, like, a massive speaker to the beach. I'm like, is there even a plug here? Like, how does this turn on?
Batteries.
But
industrial grade batteries.
We obviously don't hear all the music you guys play.
Oh, yeah, copyright's a bitch.
What are you actually playing? Like, what is, like, the kind of music that you guys are listening to?
Smooth jazz.
Could you imagine? Like, it's just...
Just trumpets, clarinets, saxophones.
Well, now with Jesse in the mix, he's like, can you put some Michael Bublé? How do you say
Canadian.
How do you say his name? Is he Canadian?
Canadian.
That checks out. I'm just kidding. No, we are. I mean, I love house. I love remixes. I love taking a classic that a lot of people, particularly my age, know the words, and then just laying on top like a very recent like EDM beat. That, you know, that's basically what I'm gonna be playing all tonight. It's like sing-alongs, but with a dance beat.
That's Ricky's kind of music.
I'm big room house. If there's no words, I need to sing and like scream, shout while also dancing to like crazy progressive house.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I love some of the progressive stuff. I love some of like the techno trance, but like what I've learned having been DJing for about 2 years now is I can't play my little, you know, like, oh, I found this song, I love it, let me put this on you guys. Like, people aren't coming to see me to discover, you know, some
SoundCloud
like
artist,
some European like trance, like
no, they're coming to sing along, have fun, and get drunk with their friends, right? Like,
yeah. So you know, you kind of just like start to kind of understand your audience, and then you find the stuff that you like that you want to kind of like share with them. So, anyway,
you got one?
I forget.
What's your, if you could actually, no, what's your favorite show you've ever played? I love asking artists this.
Hopefully tonight at Department, just because like I think it's going to be a big show. Toronto, there's just so much pent up demand for Bravo here, and Summer House. Interestingly enough, Summer House skews abnormally higher just in compared to other Bravo shows in Canada versus the U.S.
I really wonder why.
Well, no, but we talked about this with the girls, right?
Oh, with
Ariana and Renee, right?
Well, no, I just like found. I watch, like, respectfully, but I watch Bravo to turn my brain off.
I love how you clarified that. Respectfully.
Respectfully. Like, it's not... Like,
I want to be brain dead when I watch your show.
No, like, when I need to unwind, I watch reality TV. So I started with The Housewives.
It's people's, like, you want to, like, unplug and...
enjoy someone else's life.
Enjoy someone else's life, not mine. Listen to the drama, whatever. I get it. But Summer House, I think, for me personally, is, like, the most relatable because it's, like, things that... we would do.
Yeah.
We did it this summer.
did it, yeah.
We go to the cottage, like up north here, like when we're in Greece all together, like it feels like we could be filmed and make that exact same show that you're doing.
I think that was like the beauty of it. I was just myself. I was just like, the only thing I knew how to do is just be myself. And I mean, the funny thing was, like, a lot of my college friends were like, "Dude, you should be on TV." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, you should be, you know, I don't know, you should be a model." I never took it seriously, but I think that there's a related. First of all, I think one of the reasons why reality television is so successful and so ingrained in pop culture is the relatability of it all.
100%.
When you follow an athlete, an artist, a musician, an actor, like, do you know who they are? There's a good chance they're total freaking weirdos, right? And I think that's why, like, our brand and my personal brand, like, I don't need millions of followers to have a really engaged audience that converts. And when I say converts, I mean, like, if there's something I care about, that could be a charity, it could be Loverboy, it could be DJing, but like the fan base that Bravo has been able to cultivate is unlike anything I've ever seen. And if you want a taste of it, just go to BravoCon. I mean, it is, the positivity and energy is like contagious. So that, I think our show in particular just lends itself to relatability and like authenticity, because we just film straight through the weekend. We're not going from one scene to another. The cameras just roll on us, and what you see is what you get.
Okay, so how has this progressed? Like, it's changed. So how many seasons now? 10?
Yeah, 10 airs in
couple weeks. Okay, so how has this changed from the beginning to now? Like, were you actually driving up on a Friday, leaving Sunday night, Monday, staying during the week, going to work? Like, is that still what the case is now too?
Oh my God. I mean, well, it's a little different. Not everybody, hardly anybody has like a job that they have to
but you
report
guys
to
are all
on Monday.
recognizable faces now. You're not. It's not like you're a, D-list Bravo star that nobody really knows. Like, you guys are all very recognizable faces in everyday, especially in New York.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that hasn't changed much. Like, I mean, you'd be surprised when I'm just walking around New York. People are actually pretty respectful. They just kind of give me my privacy. It's whenever I go anywhere else. Like, what are you doing here? I'm like, working.
So how is it?
It's like us right now. It's like, yo, I heard you coming to Toronto. You want to come on the pod?
How is it though? Like, going out in the Hamptons. Like, do you actually still enjoy going out now versus you did 10 years ago? Because now going out in the Hamptons, people associate it with you guys.
It's a little, look, it's a little different. It's not like the Hamptons needed a show to bring
More people
attention to it.
No.
And so, yeah, going out in the Hamptons, it could be a lot, but it kind of just depends on where, like, your headspace is at when you're in those situations. Like, I kind of thrive off other people's energy, as you probably can tell. So I don't mind it as much as others, right? So to me, it's like I just get approached, and there's no telltale sign if someone's a fan or if I've met them before, because those conversations kind of feel the same because everyone feels like they know me. And then I'm like 10 minutes into talking to someone at the bar, and I'm like, have we met? They're like, no, dude, I just watched your show. And I'm like, oh my God. I don't know. I meet hundreds of people a week, so it's hard for me to distinguish. And yeah.
Do you ever find that it's being a reality star, now you do all these other things, entrepreneur, DJ, et cetera, et cetera. Do you ever find that there's times you just like want to shut the world off? And then how do you
never
do it?
have.
Really? I was gonna say, fuck. I thought you were being serious for a second. Because there's got to be times you've just like someone comes up to you and you're like, fuck, not.
It's
today.
only been once.
Really?
Literally. Yeah. Again, I'm a little bit of an outlier.
Well, you're an extrovert.
I was actually loading up my car on my street to go to Summer House. It was probably like season 6 or 7. I live on a one-way street that gets really busy. There's like ambulances because it's a hospital. It's New York City. And I'm like double parked. I have a fraction of a minute to try to like pack my car. I couldn't even park in front of my door. So I'm like running back and forth. I look, and there's like a guy honking to get me to move, and there's a cop. So I'm like getting in and out. I'm like, oh, just give me a minute.
1 second, yeah.
Give me a minute. And then I'm literally like stressing the heck out. And this girl comes up. She's like, "Can I get a photo?" And I'm literally getting honked at, and a cop is like hitting his siren, and I was like, no.
Like,
No,
leave me
you can't.
alone.
I'm like, I got a little bit of a situation going on right now. That's like,
If you're that girl, hit us up. We'll make sure we get a photo.
yeah, I'm sorry. You're the one person I said
Really,
no
for
to.
real though, that's the only one time where you were like, you're just like, not today.
Yeah, and a lot of it is also like I've seen other casts, not just my show, other shows where someone like runs up, they can't believe they're seeing like some person they've watched on television for God knows how many years, and if my friend or my fellow Bravo Leb is just like not feeling it, and then that person has like the worst experience meeting someone that they like either look up to or were so excited to meet. Like, look, we only have a show because of fans. So I learned it was actually Stassi. I went out to dinner with her, and it was like me, a couple other people, Amanda, before the crossover drop. She was in town for press, and this fan like interrupted us at dinner. She was so gracious, like stood up, took multiple photos. It was as if like, boom, she's on the clock, and she just made this person feel seen and gave them like the best experience ever. Then she sits back down and just goes straight back into it. And I was like, that was incredible. Like, I'm so impressed.
Yeah.
And she was like, she literally was the one who told me, she's like, well, there's no show without fans.
Without them, yeah.
So look, I just took that to heart from day one.
You're 100% right, because there's instances of like, even as a kid, right? Like I idolized sports growing up. I was like, I'm going to be a professional athlete. I'm going to be a professional hockey player. Now
Did you just laugh?
Yeah, because I play pickleball. Of all the things I do, I fucking suck at sports. But when I was a kid, I'm like, I'm going to be a professional athlete.
He's a goalie.
When you meet, I met some of my favorite athletes in person, and they were like the fucking coolest, best people in the world. And there was a goalie when I was young, Dominic Hasek, if you remember him. And I played in a tournament against his son. I was a goalie. Dominic Hasek was like the fucking sickest OG goalie. So we beat his son's team, and we all knew his son was a goalie that we just beat. So after the game, I fucking stood outside. I waited. As a fucking 12-year-old kid, balls haven't dropped. Dominic Hasek's the fucking GOAT goalie. I waited. Asked for an autograph. Said no. Fucking hated him after. Hated him. Fucking hated him. Yeah. And it's just like, it's that small thing. Again, yeah, I just beat his son. Who knows? Maybe they're in a rush. Maybe they had a million other things. But like, fuck, I was like, yo, I was heartbroken as a kid.
Well, and also, again, that's what's so different about reality television. If it's done right, the person you see on TV is exactly the person that you'd want to meet.
Yeah.
And if you meet that person and that experience does not go like you thought it would, that leaves a really bad taste.
Well, then the whole show is like, is the show even real? It's like, is it reality or is it just a fucking scripted show?
Well, we were just talking about this on the last episode with
the girls.
The girls. Well, I feel like when we met you at Common Ground, we were saying like you were who you were on the show. Like there was nothing. Like you were so nice, approachable.
And to me, it's so funny that people are surprised by that.
No, it's not surprised, but you just never know what you're gonna get. But like all of you guys were all very approachable and like normal. And
so when you meet these, okay, let's say. I'm not saying reality TV shows stars and like social media celebrities are in the same class, but sometimes you meet like a social media sensation and you're like, you're an introvert? Meanwhile, your whole life is on social media and you're the most extroverted person I've ever.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're like the most awkward, kind of weird person in real life. I'm like, how am I supposed to watch your shit and believe anything you say anymore?
Right. It's like they're like completely out there when they're in front of the camera by themselves, and then you meet them and
it's like
they can't form a sentence.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? That's why. So it's different, right?
Well, it's also like the creator economy and influencers and whatnot. Like you can do so much from your home. I mean, your social skills might be subpar.
Well, especially the COVID kids now, right? Like,
I mean, yeah. Think about it. Like half the people that have a following today probably started in COVID.
Half the followers, think about half the people who are like social media sensations now, because COVID's 6 years old now.
Right.
Think about they did high school during COVID.
Like TikTok basically launched
during COVID. Yeah.
I remember Amanda downloaded it. I was like, where have you been?
Yeah. That's how I started. I started in COVID.
Well, I'm also just thinking of what, like, you're like G-list influencer here in Toronto, but
she's just throwing daggers.
Fine. It's fine. Apparently I don't say anything nice to Danielle anyways.
But when people come and say hi to you, like when we're out at concerts and stuff, like you make their night, and that's nice.
Oh, it's fucking.
Take a picture.
I'm a very normal person. Yeah, I have a couple followers because of a couple videos that went viral. when people come and approach me in a different city or a different country, it's the fucking coolest thing in the world to me.
Yeah.
Like it's that to me will never get old. I was in fucking Australia. I landed. I went to Bondi Beach. I got recognized and took pictures with 3 separate people.
Yeah.
That was the coolest thing in the world. That's how I started my 2.5-week Australia trip.
I mean, it's like it transcends, like in this case, like hemispheres, which is pretty phenomenal.
I'm on the literal opposite end of the world,
Yeah.
30 hours away. And someone's like, oh my God, Ricky, I just saw your post that you're coming here. This is so cool. Can I get a picture? I'm like, fuck, this is so cool. Can I get a picture with you?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, when that happens, it is pretty surreal. Amanda and I flew into Dublin, actually for Everett's wedding a couple years ago. And I'm not even joking. Like, we'd just come off a red eye. We checked into our hotel. Well, I don't think we could check in, so we dropped our bags. We looked disheveled as shit. We go out to just, we only had a little bit of time in Dublin, so we were trying to make the most of it. The second we walk out of the hotel, and I'm talking like we're not in the city.
you're in
Like,
Ireland.
Like Dublin, I mean, it's just like houses. Like this hotel just was in the middle of like this residential area. And the first person we see in Dublin was like, hey, Kyle. I'm like, what the fuck? Actually, he probably was like, hey, Kyle. Actually, I can't do an Irish accent, but good day, mate. No, that's Australian. Oh, my God.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah. But no, it's pretty wild. And that's why I think, like, just coming up to Canada, it's awesome. Like, you guys really, like, embrace Bravo up here. I was in Alberta last weekend. I'm actually coming back to Toronto next
He's
Friday.
playing in London.
Playing in London.
Next weekend.
I didn't even know there was a London,
We
Canada.
went to Western University, like, which is in London.
I was telling him the other day, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's like the big school, right?
Big
party
party
school.
It's like the ASU of Canada.
Love that.
Except
mean there's
cold.
like a lot
But
of
everyone's
fake
smart,
boobs?
too.
Maybe not fake boobs.
When I think
but, like,
ASU, I
big
think
party
fake
school.
boobs. So just so you know.
Yeah, okay, maybe the I don't know. What's another good party school in the States?
I mean, there's a lot. But
There's a lot.
ASU, I think, skews a little high on the plastic surgery department.
Yeah, but
Just an FYI.
Well, you know what?
Scottsdale is fucking sick.
I maybe
Call a
say
spade a spade.
maybe
Like,
compare it to like a Syracuse, since you're in a colder environment.
Syracuse is
Syracuse
a party school?
Ask Carl.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. I actually just started his book, and he's talking about how Syracuse. Yeah, Syracuse was. I mean, I've been there because my brother went there. I'll tell you one thing: they party.
Yeah.
My sister goes to Boston U. Definitely not
What's-
a party school.
Well, but Boston fucks.
Boston.
No, Boston's
fucks.
amazing.
Boston's
Boston's
fucks.
so
I wanna say
chaotic.
that.
They can't even legally have happy hour.
There's like 10 schools there, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Boston's
every
crazy.
turn.
Boston's crazy. Like the government was literally like, this crowd,
Well, it gets
our
you crazy.
civilians cannot handle 2 for 1, so we are never
do
going to do happy hours.
What's your favorite school, like school town? Now you've toured, you've done a whole bunch of school towns. I don't know how many. What's your favorite?
Yeah,
And don't give me they're all great, blah, blah.
no.
Pick one.
Yeah, I've only played a couple towns that I would say are our college towns. Look, I went to a small liberal arts school, so I never got that big school energy that you guys were experiencing. And obviously in like the U.S., it's heavy sports. Like that's, you're going to a school and you just live and die by it. So like I was in Arkansas. That was like
Arkansas?
Yeah, like I've been to a couple.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said you went to school in Arkansas. I'm like,
No,
what
No,
the-
Trinity, come on.
I don't know where that is.
I went to a Michigan State versus Michigan University game.
That's huge.
At the
Big House?
The Big House, and that was just like, I was just like, okay,
Holy fuck.
now I kind
100,000
of get
people.
it. Like now I kind of get why these friends that I have that went to big schools, like have the
Well, they die by it.
it's like in their blood. So I mean, one regret I had is, well, I don't know. I feel like when you go to a smaller school, you actually have more friends because it's easier to like get to know everybody. But big schools are a different breed.
Okay, so what's your favorite show that you've done so far? Anywhere?
Oh yeah, you asked me. Sorry, I didn't answer. My favorite DJ gig. Sheesh. I mean, listen, like there was something special about my set at BravoCon this year. So I did Hakkasan, which is like part of the Tao group. And obviously I scheduled it purposely to be aligned with BravoCon. So
yeah, but you played Vegas a bunch though, like Marquee and stuff. No,
like a couple times.
Yeah.
But this was like my big. This was like me headlining one of the biggest clubs in Vegas, and it was just surreal because we had tons of fans, like I don't know, like 1,000, and then like all my friends from not only my show but other shows, you know, they're kind of like rolling in sporadically, but I look behind me, you know, at the kind of peak hour of my set, and there's like 30 like friends from Bravo behind me.
Bravo alum.
It was just chaotic in the best way possible.
It's a special moment that you'll like remember.
Yes. Yeah. That was like, you know, because most of the time when I'm DJing, I'm just like, I drop into a city and maybe I have a friend, but often, they're like, who's on your guest list? I'm like,
here. You have pals here.
yeah. No, I'm psyched for tonight.
Okay, so you said that you are doing Sober January.
Yes.
So do you typically drink when you're doing your DJ sets?
It kind of varies. If I'm, I mean, the answer is yes. It's like that kind of environment. You know, I try to get there at least an hour early to try to like take pictures with people, say hi. A lot of DJs just kind of pop out of what we call like the green room and just go directly up to the booth and just start playing. I like to try to say hi to people because they've come, in some cases, a long way to see me.
I could picture you walking through the crowd, just like popping
Just,
into
like,
booth.
Oh, I'm going to do it tonight.
And people say hi. You're like, yeah, cool. I'll
yeah,
pop in.
I'm going to do it tonight.
Because I feel like that's how we met.
Yeah.
I feel like you were at Common Ground and you're just like bopping around. And I just ran into. I was like, yo, Kyle, what's up? Like, Ricky.
Exactly. So, wait, how did I get talking about that? What was it?
Do you drink?
Oh,
Dry
yeah.
January.
So in a lot of instances, you know, fans will literally have shots ready for me. And I learned the hard way, like, okay, if you say yes to one shot,
You have to say yes to all
that
of
basically gives the
a free
entire
fall.
place, okay, Kyle's cool to do a shot. So no shots. But
Good
a lot of times I have Loverboy. And, you know, people are supporting my brand. So I'll have a Loverboy in hand. But yeah, I mean, I've had like different degrees of like, you know, how much I'm drinking on you know, when I'm on stage. But, yeah, I didn't really plan on doing Dry January, but I just did it.
What's your favorite song to play currently?
Man.
Pick one. And then Janelle, if you were a DJ, what would
I
you want?
already lined up this answer in my head.
Really? Okay.
100%.
All right, so you're gonna see. I really cover all the genres. Again, what brings it together is like a house beat, but I've closed 99% of my sets with the same exact song for the last 2 years, and it's a remix that this guy Cashmere did of Country Road,
Okay.
and it's just such it's at 150 beats per minute,
So
which
it's
is
a banger.
which is like boom, 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 and most people at least know the hook, you know.
Yeah.
West Virginia, you know, you kind of like, sometimes I'll try to adapt and I'll just shout this city that I'm in over over the West Virginia part.
People go crazy, eh? Oh yeah! Oh my God! He fucking yelled out Arkansas.
It's funny. I found that song in like August of 24 as I was playing a set in front of my family in New Hampshire, and my older brother, who's like 10 years older than me, I'm 43, so he's like, I think he's like 55. He's just like, that was awesome, John Denver. Fuck yeah.
My mom would
And then,
love
so this
that.
is dedicated to your every time you play. It's dedicated to your older brother.
Yeah.
What would yours be?
Currently, I've got. I'm on a Zach Bryan kick right now, but the only EDM song in my playlist right now is the new Twin Sick Home
Oh yeah.
remix.
Edward
that
Sharp.
just came out. Yeah, that
It's
just
so
came
fun.
out.
I don't know how old those guys are. I've hung out with them multiple times because we were rep by the same manager.
They're
And
great kids.
the funny thing is, when that song probably dropped, they were probably 10.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
probably.
they're young.
Well, do you remember the video on YouTube that went mega viral like 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Was the little girl, and like the
You know
little
what's
girl and her
funny?
dad?
Yeah.
One of my most memorable moments in the Hamptons was 2014 Memorial Day weekend at Surf Lodge.
So this is before the show.
Oh yeah. It was sometimes when you that first month of summer can be cold out east because you're on the tip of Long Island. Not only was it cold, I'm in a sweater. The fog was rolling in off the lake that Surf Lodge sits on, and the band playing was Edward Sharp and the Magnetic Zeros.
Oh, wow.
And
Right.
I was feeling it. The tables there that you get bottle service on are teeny. I was standing on one, lost my balance,
Ate
came
shit.
crashing down, took out the table next to me. It was probably like $20,000 worth of booze, and that's how I met one of my friends. His
Shout out to that guy.
His name's Fazil.
Okay, I actually have some. Now we're talking to Hamptons a bit. I just have a few questions for you because Ricky has his.
I told him already.
his own opinion on the Hamptons.
already.
He's not the biggest fan of it.
Yeah, it's hard to appreciate how big it is. There's essentially one road that connects it all, so traffic can be pretty horrific.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, what was your first time, or you've been out there?
It was my first,
times?
and
I've been a couple times.
It's my first, and I won't go back unless there's like a good reason.
My birthday
to.
this year.
The reason why is, like I said in the car, for the amount of money we spent, I prefer Mykonos, I prefer Ibiza, I prefer Rome.
Yes, but it's
I
a different
prefer
kind of trip.
Havar. No, it's not. It was the exact same type of trip our friends do, just in the Hamptons.
Where's Havar?
Havar's in Croatia. Gorgeous
Great.
place. You should go.
Check that out.
So it's the trip we did was amazing, and we had so much fun. Maz was there. It was her birthday too, and me and Maz, this was the girl I went out with to one of the days for Twin Sick that I was telling you about. So we got there. We had a nice teppanyaki dinner. We went out to nice dinners. We got drunk. We partied at the pool at the house. We went to clubs. We went to day parties. We had a great time together with our friends.
Yeah.
If we did that trip in Mykonos, the exact same trip with the exact same budget, I think we would have got more out of it.
I mean,
I like
it's
it.
definitely
And I'm not
it's
shitting on
easy
the
to
Hamptons.
spend.
I'm not saying. I'm
Yeah.
just for bang for your buck. The Hamptons is very expensive.
Well, here's the thing. Like what you hear about, like when people tell me they're going there for the first time, I'm like, just make sure you have all your reservations lined up because the Hamptons is always at capacity.
Yeah.
You're not going to
Yeah,
be able to
I
like
was there.
wing
Yeah,
it.
you were great. You
Right.
Dani
So,
did a great job.
but here's the thing. Sometimes you take that so literally. You line up all these things, and you
Leave
kind
no
of
room
like
for-
all of a sudden your
Yeah.
budget starts to go up because you're like, all right, well, we absolutely want to get in here, so we're gonna get a table. We absolutely want to get in here, so we're gonna make a reservation. Gone are the days of being spontaneous, unfortunately, just
Yeah.
because traffic.
Well, there's a little
But it's also
spontaneity
everything's so
after the
far.
club, eh, Maz?
Oh,
She had a fun night. Actually, these two maybe. I'm not gonna
that's
say.
what
it
I'm
on this
talking
one.
about.
We'll say it after
but
the
I just
pod.
think
Maybe you're just
everything's-
butthurt that you didn't have any late night
He
activity.
is. He got totally shut down at Surf Lodge. We have
There it
literally
is.
video proof.
That's why he hates the Hamptons.
Maz did not get shut down.
Danielle
Maz
likes
was like
to-
2 for 2 on that trip.
Yeah.
Sorry, she has a
Wait.
boyfriend now. Landlord, don't listen to
You
this.
sewer her like that. Damn.
Sorry. Got the moment.
No, but yeah, just my opinion is I had the best trip. It was such a good time. It's just bang for your buck. I think I like other cities better.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely like, dude. I mean, if you can basically spend the same amount and have the most ridiculous weekend in like Mykonos or Saint Tropez or fill in the freaking blank.
But again, it's like an hour flight from Toronto and then a 2-hour drive. But I understand why people from New York go out to the Hamptons on the weekend because we have Muskoka here. So we drive up 2 hours north. We spend our weekends in Muskoka, but the culture there is more like you're on the lake, you stay at your place.
And I
There's none of,
come
like,
from
the-
a state with a lot of lakes. I love lakes. The one thing that you don't get if you're a tourist going to the Hamptons, you're not getting the look for like house parties. And like to me,
The house parties are what make it.
Yeah.
like that's where you can kind of be spontaneous once you have enough. Your Rolodex is such that you kind of can go out there and be spontaneous because there's enough going on that doesn't require you to have a reservation.
Yeah.
And that's, unfortunately, it's just kind of like hard to help people line something like that up.
You need to play in Muskoka this summer because it's
the
the
Key?
Canadian. Yeah, at the Key.
Oh my God, we'll get you into the Key.
So this is a lake north of the
So
city.
Muskoka is the Hamptons for New York. Sorry, what the Hamptons is for New York.
And this
Muskoka
is like the
for Toronto.
cottage life,
It's
right?
cottage life.
But it's
Yeah.
also like, I don't want to say the rich cottage life, but Muskoka is arguably one of the more rich
Like,
cottage countries
Lisa
in
Rinna's
Canada.
up there, like the Gerbers, like
Okay.
Cindy Crawford. Like,
Like,
there's
When Beckham comes to Canada for cottaging, he goes up to Muskoka.
And how far of a drive is it from here?
2 hours.
No traffic, 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does the
So-
traffic get bad?
And
Yeah,
there's only
terrible.
one bar called the Kitabala. It's the
That's it.
grossest place in the
There's
world.
one nice hotel. There's only one nice hotel.
So
Fairmont.
where are people?
Too. It's
So if you're a
Rocky
tourist, how
Crest
do
and-
you make the most of it if you don't know? I'm assuming there's a lot of like house parties at these cottages.
So yeah, but what there's random little like crappy bars and shit you can go to. But what people do is if you're not from there, you don't go there constantly. You just rent a house with your friends and you go
You
up there.
just
And that's
stay
it.
in your
Yeah,
cottage and
stay-
you party and whatever.
Yeah.
But the Kitabala for you is 10 out of 10.
It would be 10 out of 10.
It would be the
for
most.
you.
It would be slammed with like the Bravo cons of the Bravo cons.
Well, James
And-
Kennedy performed there, I think, last year, 2 summers ago.
I don't know. I was just texting him last night.
Yeah.
One of his new songs was like trending on one of my DJ lists.
Gotta put it to play
But
tonight.
like I understand because New York is like we were in New York a day before the Hamptons, or I guess we were, and we were so hot walking through the city. I was like, "Get me the fuck out of here! I just want to be by a pool right now." So I understand why people leave.
Yeah, the city in the summer is like a true concrete jungle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, like to. Oops, sorry guys.
You're good. You're good.
Oh, it's Adrian.
I love Adrian. Adrian, love you, buddy.
Let me just turn off my buzzer. You know what I think is unique about the Hamptons, right? First of all, it's probably, I'm gonna guess, 60, 80 miles from point to point, from when you like technically when the Hamptons starts and it no longer is like Long Island up until the tip, and then you have like Greenpoint, like you have there's like different vibes, right? So if you want a little more relaxed vibe, go to Sag Harbor, right? If you want to like hit vineyards and kind of avoid like the scene, you know, there's so many places to go. Like here we are 10 years in, there's still plenty of things to do that we haven't done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot to navigate as, you know, if you're coming and you're trying to make the most of it, it can be overwhelming. Like people blow me up on DMs just like asking for advice and recommendations. I'm like, I don't even want to open that because like if it's a bad experience, I'm gonna feel guilty.
Do you check your DMs? Do you respond to them?
I wish I did it more. I mean, like the second I click in, you know, and then if it's a business opportunity or like God knows what, or someone asks a question, there's a good chance I'm just gonna lose it in the shuffle. So I try to like, if someone, particularly if there's like a complaint or a question or an opportunity about Loverboy or DJing, you know, I try to like.
You do your best.
I try to browse.
Yeah, you do your best.
Sorry, back to the Hamptons. I just have some questions.
Yeah.
Go.
I'm just going to like kind of spitfire a couple questions.
She's had these locked in for like 2 weeks now.
No, I haven't. No. Okay, if someone was like, where would you stay in the Hamptons? What area?
See, this is why I don't answer DMs. People forget.
Well, I'm making you answer them now.
No, here's the thing.
No, but
the
there's different
spots that I would
reasons.
call my go-tos was pre-summer house, because we can't be spontaneous when we film because we have to get like location releases and permits. And when we go into a restaurant or a bar or a club, like they have to like change up the music so it's copyright free. I mean, like, there's a lot of to do, and the Hamptons is probably one of the hardest places to film a show in the country, hands down.
Yeah.
So.
Okay,
Like
but if you had to pick.
But take last summer, for
like,
example.
where
I
are
never
you
even made it
staying?
to Montauk because I was so busy. I never made it there
Not once?
And I invested in a hotel. I never got out there.
So like if you were going, you're not on Summer House. Summer House is over. It's done. You had to go plan a weekend. Where are you staying? And this is for you. No one else.
So
it's for different reasons.
A little
Like,
biased, but the hotel I invested in is one of the only hotels that has been recently renovated, smack dab in the middle of Montauk. So you're actually in the thick of it.
What's it called?
It's called Offshore. We just opened it last summer. We're now building a 3-story bar, restaurant, club, with a rooftop, which is going to be one of the most unique properties in Montauk. What I love about staying downtown, you can kind of, you know, hit up the local businesses. There's so many cool little spots to grab food, drinks, etc. The beach is literally right there. One of the best beaches you can possibly go to in the U.S. in my opinion, just because like they make a point of cleaning it and keeping it nice. There's surfing, there's fishing, and then boom, you know, all the nightlife is literally at your fingertips. If you rent the house, you are going to be spending a lot on Ubers, or I think you said someone was pregnant. So you guys had a DD, so that's huge, but still a lot of time in the car, a lot of time going back and forth. And you can't rent big houses in Montauk. It's again, it was a former fishing, surfing town. So there's.
We were in Sag Harbor, right?
No, East Hampton.
East Hampton.
Yeah, and East Hampton's huge. Like technically Montauk is part of East Hampton.
Yeah.
It's a hamlet.
Yeah. Okay, favorite place to go out in the Hamptons?
Again, I've met some of my best friends there. I've seen some of my favorite musicians there, and it's just an absolute vibe. It has changed. It's kind of taken on a new life of its own, but it's Surf Lodge. I mean,
we did say it's the
2010s,
best looking crowd ever.
In the 2010s, it was an absolutely absurd place to post up on a Sunday.
Well, like we were there for Disco Lines. which was unbelievable. I feel like being able to watch disco lines in that kind of small
It's
crowd
intimate.
is amazing.
People are in flip flops. Like you're just vibing.
And
It's
a lot of people are like good looking too. Like call a spade a spade.
Yes.
It wasn't an ugly crowd.
No, it's Surf Lodge will always attract one of the most best looking crowds that
Call a spade a spade.
hospitality could dream up.
Honestly.
So yeah, I mean, like, trust me, there's now a lot of alternatives that didn't exist 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You don't have to go drop 10, 15K on a table at Surf Lodge to get the Montauk or Hamptons experience for that matter.
Well, no, I feel like I've been to the Hamptons with my family where we stayed in Sag Harbor. Very calm week.
Yeah.
Great. We had the best time ever. And then I went with friends too.
It is
Completely
what you make of
different
it. You can
it's
literally
exactly what you
chill on
make
the
of it.
beach.
Yeah.
Have a relaxing stroll through one of the many little towns, or you can like rage your face off.
Favorite restaurant?
Back in the day, I used to say Crow's Nest. I think it's still around.
Mm-hmm.
Love Crow's Nest. It's kind of like in a very secluded part of Montauk. So I'm just gonna keep plugging. I had one of the best steaks there. It was like it was a steak. It was like I think it was like a braised beef dish that was just phenomenal.
Love it.
Okay.
Hopefully, it's still on the menu.
What's one thing that
Can't
you...
shit on anybody. Come on, Dani. Don't do that to him.
No, I said, what's one thing that you've done on TV that you wish you could take
I
back?
thought you were going to say, what's the worst thing you've done on TV?
Oh God! I mean, the regrets. I haven't ever done a rewatch, so it's hard for me to really kind of go back and
Really?
size
Like,
it
what
all
if you're
up.
scrolling TikTok? You don't watch your own clips every now and then?
I'll see a clip, and I'm like, oh my God! But I'm not gonna like go watch that episode.
Ricky would.
If I was, sometimes I'd watch it. Like, yo, fuck, did I really? Because
Ask him how many times he's watched himself on the plane, the same podcast.
every time I do, every time I put it
No,
on,
look,
I watch it. But
I have had so many moments, and this coming season is full of them, where I just let my emotions get the best of me, and it might be stress, it might be alcohol, it might be frustration.
I appreciate that you're honest about it, though.
I mean, but I've had, choice words with some of my best friends and my wife, right? I don't even know how I would narrow it down. Look, once upon a time, not really understanding, you'd think I would because we had been dating for years, but I think I called Amanda lazy, and that continues to haunt me and her. Wrong choice of words. I think it was season 7 where I kind of called Carl out from some of his past substance abuse while he was working for me. That was, again, I was at a breaking point. I don't think I just our friends didn't understand, what was going on. And to some extent, now that I'm reading Carl's book, I didn't. So there's, and then a couple exchanges with people that I really care about, like Paige. It's funny, like some of the only falling outs I've ever had in my entire 43-year-old life, I've only had 2, and it was on Summer House.
The toughest part is we've all said certain things that we wish we could take back. We've all said things that in the moment weren't that big of a deal, but if it was recorded on TV with the whole world watching, judging, making commentary about it, would look bad.
Right.
The only difference is 99.9% of the world doesn't have their weekends surveillanced for the whole world to see, whereas yours is. And so maybe calling someone lazy, like my dad's definitely called my mom lazy. My mom's definitely called my dad lazy.
You call your dad lazy on social media
they
weekly.
They never fight about that. That's probably a word that doesn't come up in their fucking fights ever.
Yeah.
But in your case, because the whole world saw it.
Well, not only that, I know you're going to jump in, but just real quick, even if you make amends, it could be 5 minutes later. Like in the season 10 trailer, Carl and I basically come to physical blows, basically. You could make up, and then next thing you know, 6 months later, it's airing, and it just kind of reopens that wound.
Yeah.
And you're next thing you know, you're having the same exact argument or fight.
Yeah, that's tough.
So it's to your point. It's one thing to live it. It's another thing for you to then have to relive it.
Or to have the whole world watch it and comment on it.
And have an opinion on it.
Danny, we are near that time, though.
Yeah,
so.
okay, last one.
I'm very verbose, and I had an espresso shot before I came here.
You're good. You're good.
I'm Chatty Cathy over here.
If you could bring back one castmate from the past 10 seasons, who would it be?
Oof. It's tough. You look back and you're like, man, we really got the situation kind of got the best of us. I mean, the Workuses, They were good friends of mine. I
Sorry,
literally,
who the Workuses?
there was 2 twins
Oh,
for
twins,
the
sorry.
first 2 seasons. Lauren and I were buddy, and we haven't spoken essentially since the season 2 reunion. Stephen McGee. I mean, I'm not giving you one because I don't even know how I narrow that down. Even where I had falling outs, like my 2 falling outs was essentially Lauren and then Hannah. To me, that's just life's too short to hold grudges. So I'd love a shot on or off camera to just kind of make amends.
Well, I mean,
Luke, I love Luke. We're still boys, but he's no longer on the show. Like,
He was on the podcast.
If you could say,
every time I see a log, I'm like, God, I wish Luke was here to just chop
we
that
had
thing.
Luke on the podcast actually. But if you could
nice.
see Hannah or Lauren, what would you say to them?
Let's hug it out. Like, it's a pressure cooker situation.
Do you think they'd hug it out?
I think Lauren would. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. Some people can kind of like move on, and then some people like just rehash shit. And so
I got ex-girlfriends from a decade ago that still hate me. Don't worry, I get it. I get it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think people can relate to it, but
Yeah.
I just hate knowing that I've had a couple fallings out. Even like my falling out with Craig, he wasn't on my show, but that was just an unfortunate situation that to this day I don't think he understands.
But I also think like social media and I think being on TV like can, bring it back to fans and other people's opinions, make situations 20 times worse than they have to be.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a situation that wasn't a big deal, but then the fans or the world or the outside perspective made it a big deal? Again, your whole life is surveillance. I think not your whole life, but a good amount of it.
The biggest examples that just comes to mind is when it was a long day of drinking. We were on a boat. I literally lost my swimsuit. I was basically on one of those motorized, scuba things, naked, just to give you an idea of like how impaired I was. And Amanda, at the very end of the day, it's like sunset, brought up this idea of hers of wanting to do like a swimsuit line. And I wasn't in the right state of mind to give a thoughtful response. B, this was when the pressure of running Loverboy was starting to build, and it's very challenging to get into the intricacies of a business on a show like Summer House where you're partying and people just gloss over the second you talk about how challenging alcohol is, or why I need Amanda's help. And then the third part was just like, I got I let, again, my emotions get the best of me because she was like, well, Kyle, you have Loverboy. That's like your passion. That's like
Your thing.
And I'm like,
what's mine?
whoa, this is not like Loverboy is the biggest source of stress in my life. This is not fun. Like I enjoy entrepreneurship. I enjoy building something from the ground up, but where Loverboy was at and where it continues to be is I mean, it is insanely challenging and insanely stressful. It keeps me up at night. I literally had to like go and like get a prescription last summer to help me fall asleep. So I just was incapable of articulating in that moment, and then later that night, where I was at, and ultimately, like, I was excited for her. I was just like, I knew that I would end up playing a part of that kind of business endeavor, and I just in that moment I was like, I can't take on anything else right now. So that was like one of the to this day I don't think people truly understood like why I reacted the way I did, and I just haven't really to this day been able to like help people understand. But it just sounds like you're making excuses at that point.
No, but it's not even that. Like, and nobody should. Again, when you go on TV and you put your life on for the world to see, people think that they have a right to judge and they have a right to tell you what you're doing with your life wrong, or that you said this wrong. It's like, yo, well, respectfully, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
No one
like,
has
I know
a
you can't
right.
say that. You can't say that because these are the fans.
Shut up, troll.
But you know what I mean? Like, one of my biggest New Year's resolutions was I made a TikTok like maybe 2 months ago. It went mega viral, and it's like basically talking about how the type of woman
I think
want.
I saw it. Was this the one
The one
where
you
you're like,
agreed with.
this is why I'm single?
Yeah.
I saw
So
it.
you agree with it? Kristen Cavallari slid in my DMs to agree with me about it. Who's like, that was like my childhood crush. Like,
You're
I
like,
used
hey,
to love
are
Kristen
you up?
Cavallari. Yeah. So I know I didn't say anything wrong, but I was fucking
Definitely came next.
my dick was getting hard fighting people on the internet. I couldn't stop. I was fucking addicted to fighting people on the internet. Cause I'm like, I need to prove.
Was it the first time you did something controversial that kind of solicited that type of
in recent
response?
years? I've had other things where it was like borderline, but nothing to this extent. Like my agency fucking called me. They're like, yo, Ricky, I just wanted you to like think about what you're posting.
Yeah.
I was like,
I used to get in like political beefs on Twitter. I mean, yeah, the second you open up that can of worms and you fight back,
but it's addicting. It's like I couldn't stop.
For me, it wasn't addicting. It was time consuming.
But again, I'm on the Stairmaster. I know I got an hour on this fucking thing. I'm opening up the comments and I'm attacking every fucking username 357 that talks shit to me.
Post the pals clip.
Yeah,
maybe use your time better.
And I'm excited about it. I'm like, can't wait to get on Stairmaster. I got these 18 comments saved. Can't wait to fight with someone. I got in a fight with someone while I was on the beach in Bondi with some random person. I came to the point where I Googled the dude so I could talk shit about him. And I'm like, is this what so one of my New Year's resolutions was to not talk shit to random strangers. I'm just going to block people. It's a little bit different for you because you're on TV, so you can't really just block the world. I'm
No, the key is you restrict them.
Yeah.
Blocking, that gives them like ammo. If they're restricted, they don't know.
I'm just blocking
and they just keep talking shit.
Fuck them. We are near that part. So I got one more, Dani, but I want to end on it. Do you think there's one moment in your life that defined who you've become as a man?
I think I've been a little slow to evolve as a man, but I feel like that's somewhat relatable.
I don't think so, though,
because
think about where you've come from, at least the story you've told, like all the and again, I mean this nicely, all the failures with the apps and the 10 different things you've done to where you are now. I don't think that's a failure at all, a failure to evolve. I think that's literally the definition of evolution.
Yeah. I mean, look.
And I'm not trying to toot your own horn because you're on this podcast. I genuinely mean that.
No, I think that there's... I try to live my life very open-minded, like that kind of expression, you don't know what you don't know, particularly as an entrepreneur, but also as a guy, who winds up on a TV show or, proposes and, next, or now I'm married. Like there's just so much, like you think you've got it figured out. No freaking way. I don't know if there's like any one particular moment, but I will say, like, this past year, 2025, we filmed Summer House 10, and then we filmed a new show in the city. And it was back-to-back. So that was one challenging component. Like, usually when I film Summer House, it kind of requires me to just go right back to work in the fall because, not to say that I'm, like, not working. I'm always working. But there's some things that kind of get postponed or disregarded. So like, boom, I go right back to work. This year, knowing that I'm going to go straight into a new show was stressing me out. Day one, July 4th. Because I'm just like, this is going to be crazy. It wasn't like Winter House where there was like a 6-month gap. This was back to back. And if you think about it, like no one on Bravo really does that. I don't know. Like I'm sure like the Kardashians or like, I don't know, other shows, but like this was new to me and it was challenging because I actually run my companies, right? I don't have other people running in these leadership roles, making the day-to-day happen. That's me. So that was a source of stress. And then just, dealing with, my relationship and marriage 10 years in, marriage is challenging. Love is complicated for sure. And then just navigating the stress that I was under based on where my business was. I mean, it was kind of like I was in the eye of a hurricane. So it was a very, very, there's going to be multiple learning lessons from 2025. I'm still trying to like process everything. And that's why I say, like, you think you have it all figured out. You think there's like one pivotal point when you look back, when I said yes to Bravo, or I went to business school, or, I started this company, or I closed down this app, even though my friends were like, dude, don't give up. I think life is just a slew of various moments that you can either learn from or not.
Yeah. Just a quick side note there, but like, how do you prep for these 2 shows coming out now and having to relive everything? Kind of like the stress you were in.
Honestly, I've had my fair share of moments on previous shows, previous seasons. I don't think anything can kind of prepare me for like what's to come.
The onslaught.
Because as much as I wish I could just ignore the comments and the people with opinions and the trolls, it's, you know, I open my phone and like it's impossible to miss it. So I think that if I've learned one thing, like I know just as who I am, like where you know I am very easily agitated, and I do let my emotions get the best of me, and I just have to like reel it in as all this kind of plays out. So yeah, just trying to like maybe tone down who I am this year.
Never tone yourself down.
100%.
Like never tone yourself down for somebody else,
be
and
silly,
be fucking nice to Kyle.
Yeah, fuck it.
But like, look,
doing that, you find out who wants to be in your circle, man. Everyone else can fuck themselves.
I agree, but at the same time, you know, everybody can make excuses and be defensive for your, you know, various actions.
Yeah.
Like you can always kind of chalk something up to something. And so one thing I've learned from reality television is like when you're kind of watching it play out, like most people that get into a heated argument and just will not give in and not take the L, they don't have, I don't call it a luxury, but they don't have all that on camera ready to actually remind you of just like how horrific you look.
How stupid too.
And how stupid, and like how in the world are you getting all bent out of shape over spilled milk? You know what I mean? So I think that in a weird way, I can absolutely say this for Carl too. Like we have been able to learn a lot about ourselves that we would not have been, you know, a lot of things that we would not be privy to because of this show. It's a weird form of therapy.
I love that.
I'm fine.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say, because we do need to wrap up.
Yeah.
Kyle, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
This was a long
Thought we
time
could make it
coming. We
happen.
appreciate thank you for taking the time. We know you're not in the city for long. You're playing Department tonight. This will obviously be released after the show tonight, but we wish it's a great show.
I'll be back, Toronto.
You will be back. We know you. And there's Kita Bella. We're manifesting that for you this summer. Kita Bella.
Awesome.
It's happening. You've got London, Ontario next week. A couple other Canadian. I think you have a couple other ones as well, right?
That was the previous week. I actually go back to New England at the end of this month. But yeah, I'm kind of traveling all over. We're adding dates. London was one that was not on the original tour list. We added it. I'd love to play Montreal because it's been a minute.
Yeah, and that's your fucking home.
Yeah.
Canadian Kyle.
Also, the second I turned 18, as someone who lived in New Hampshire, you better believe I was up in Montreal.
So were we.
Well, all of us were. All of us were.
Is the drinking age here 21?
19.
Okay.
18 Montreal, 19, and then 21 in the States.
Montreal's a hell of a city.
Yeah. But Kyle, thank you for coming on. If people want to find out more about you, Loverboy, where can they go? How can they find you?
I'm Kyle Cooke. I really messed this up when I actually got the handle. It's I am, like the letter M. I realize when you say I'm, it could be I-A-M.
But like back in 2016, it was probably cool to do I am.
Yeah. I whoever has Kyle Cooke, the actual handle, I think that might have even been available. I don't know. Huge mess up.
It was
Might
cool.
still be
just,
there.
Just search Kyle Cooke with an E. And then, drinkloverboy.com. We didn't even talk about my THC drink. High Flower Boy. That'll be the next
We'll get that part 2 when you come back.
I'm sitting here drinking a poppy. We basically have like the poppy of like functional THC soda.
Our friend owns a cannabis store in Ontario, so we'll get you in
the funny
here.
thing is, I was never like a weed guy, but I love THC beverages.
Love it. Kyle, thank you for being pal. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it, man. This was a lot of fun. If you made it to the end of this, guys, we appreciate you. Give Kyle a follow. We probably already do. Give Danielle a follow. Give myself a follow. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Peace.
Peace.